Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all of my summer romance recommendations. Quite a few to go through, so let's get started. So starting off, I have Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, so TJR. This book specifically, I mean, first of all, look at the cover. That's screaming summer. They live in Malibu and it follows this family, and if you ever read TJR, it's like the TJR world with the Riviera. It specifically follows Nina, and she throws this end of the year like summer party kind of thing in her mansion. Next thing you know, the house ends up in flames. You're basically following what leads up to that event type of thing. But this has like, they're in Malibu obviously, so they all surf and everything, and there's so many like beach scenes, surf scenes, like diner scene. It's giving beach. It's not really a romance. This is more of a literary fiction. If you want more of a literary fiction over a romance, this would be your guy. Next up, we have The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. This book is so much fun. I love this book so much. It is about a girl whose family, they go to, where is it, Martha's Vineyard? Yeah, Martha's Vineyard. Her and her family go there like every single summer, and her sister was like her best friend and everything, and then she passed away, so now she has to experience a summer without her sister. So in this, they play a game of assassin with water guns, and you're basically trying to figure out who the assassin is, and if the assassin gets caught, then you know. Her cousin is getting married, so that's the reason why they're there this summer, and the groom's side of the family is with them, and obviously the male love interest is a part of the groom side of the family, and it's just kind of fun to see the game aspect of it. It's on Kindle Unlimited, by the way. This was just such a fun read, and I was so giddy. It was so cute, and I'm pretty sure I read this in one sitting. It was so good. I love this book. Then next up, we have The Roughest Draft. I don't want to butcher their name, so we're just gonna have that right there. But this is about two writers. They are two co-writers who had a falling out. They never wanted to speak to each other again, but then they had one more book in their contract, and so they go on like a writer's retreat almost, where they are forced to stay, forced proximity. They're forced to stay in like a little summer beach house. Where is it? Does it say where it is? I think it's in Florida. Yeah, Florida town. Every single time they wrote a book, they'd go to the same town in Florida to write their book together. Well, they hate each other now kind of, and so they don't want to do that, but they're forced to do it. So you kind of get the dynamic of them being forced together in the same area that they've always written at, you know what I mean? And there's past memories with it, and there's like a nostalgia with it and everything like that, and I don't know. This is just, it gave summer vibes. It's not like my favorite romance book ever, but it was very easy, lighthearted. I don't know. It was a lot of fun, and I did like their banter in this. Like they were both funny, and you see them both overcome different things and like actually communicate. So yeah, very good book. Next up, we have, this is again less of a romance and not really a beachy scene necessarily, but we have the Magnolia Parks universe. I felt like including this because it doesn't give summer vibes, okay, but I think that this series is a great series to read over the summer. It's just so like, it's very complex, are the characters, very complex, but it's just like fun. Like, I don't know, it's like a fun read. You follow like several different characters. It's more just like drama. Like it has you like giggling and gasping and all this stuff because there's just so much drama in it. And this is, a lot of people call it like a character study, which I think is a perfect description of what this is, because you are following the characters and there's romance in it, but it's not the main part. You are literally just inside the characters' heads. But there's just so much drama and so much, I don't know, it's just so much fun to read, and I feel like it's, I don't know, I just feel like it's such a good summer read to like bundle up and like binge them, because they're just so much fun. Like it's like you're watching a TV show. Like it is quite literally like you're watching a reality TV show. So I love this series. I'm in the middle of reading Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, but eating it up. And then next up, we have The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. So this book is about, so her sister gets married, but on her wedding night, her sister who's getting married, the bride, gets the stomach flu, and so her and her husband are unable to go on the honeymoon. And the honeymoon, her sister won it in like a raffle, so she basically was like, I didn't pay for it, like this is the only time we can do it, we can't reschedule it, like you guys need to go. And by you guys, I mean the groom's brother. which they did not get along or anything like that. And you can see where that goes. They go to Hawaii, I think. Yeah, they go to Maui. And so it takes place in Maui, where they can't stand each other. They kind of hate each other. But there's a fake dating trope, because I'm not going to say why, but there's a fake dating trope while they're on their unhoneymoon, you know? So it's super fun. Maui, great beach vibes, like very, very good summer book. So next up, I'm going to be talking about a series, but specifically one book in the series. So the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver, specifically the first book in the series, Flawless. I don't know what it is about this book, but I love this series so much. Read any of the books. They're like up there. You can't really see them, but this book is about Rhett and Summer. Yeah, Rhett and Summer. So Rhett is a bull rider. She's basically like a PR rep, like, because he just likes bull riding, but he doesn't know anything about actually being in the public eye. She is hired to be his like rep for anything PR, because something happens and he kind of throws himself under the bus a little bit, and so she has to get his reputation back up. And they kind of can't stand each other at first. He's pissed off because he doesn't think that he needs a PR rep, because he's like, I'm a grown man, I don't need someone, you know what happens, bull rider working for him, that type of thing. But Chestnut Springs, they all live on like a ranch. And Chestnut Springs, it's a little small town, it's adorable. But the entire family, which the rest of the series is about, they live on a ranch. And so that's kind of like what the vibe is. It's like cowboys, bull riders, horses, ranch, like that type of thing. But the found family in this series is so good. I think about this family on a regular basis. Please read Chestnut Springs if you have not read it. I love it so much. The next two are going to be authors that I recommend. So starting off, we have Abby Jimenez, specifically just for the summer. This was one of my recent 5-star reads. I read this while I was at the beach. Vibes were so good. I will link the video like up there where I like read this, and the video that I did like a full review of it. I'll keep it brief because I've already described the entire plot of this book. But this book, her and her best friend are travel nurses. They stay on this lake in, where are they, in Minnesota? I don't know, they're like in the Midwest, but they're staying on this lake so she can fake date Justin, and there's a whole thing with that. You can read the back of it. Again, I've already spoken about this, so I'm not going to speak about it that much. This is probably one of my favorite romances I've ever read. I love this book so much. Read the synopsis if you don't feel like watching my video about it, but I love this book so much. And these two are also great books by her, but they're not really summery vibes, definitely just for the summer. But if you're interested in her, check out Yours Truly and Part of Your World. They're amazing books, and the men that she writes about, love them. If you've been watching me and you've caught on to anything, you know exactly who's up next. And that is none other than Emily Henry herself. So, any of her books, quite literally, let's get these in a line. Let's get the ducks in a row. So, any 5 of her books. Okay. We have Beth Treed, People Meet on Vacation, Book Lovers, Happy Place, and then Funny Story. All of her books are perfect for the summer. Perfect for the summer. Again, more of a literary fiction, but the romance is the main plot point, but it focuses very heavily on like character development and everything like that. But Beach Read, look at that. Beach Read, read it at the freaking beach. It is amazing. Gus Everett. I have not read this book in a very long time. I'm going to reread it this summer. I'm gonna talk briefly about him because I have several of her books to talk about. But January is living at a lake house that her dad had, and she's a writer and she has to write a book, but she doesn't have any creative juices flowing. Gus also needs to write a book. Same thing's happening to him, so they decide to partner up and kind of swap their writing styles, I guess is the best way to describe it. I haven't read this in a while, if you can't tell, but please read it. They are probably one of my favorite couples I've ever read about, including fantasy. So that says a lot. So yeah, please read Beach Read. People Who Meet on Vacation is not my favorite by her. It's still really good. Definitely giving more rom-com-y, more beachy vibes, so less brain power. This is about Alex and Poppy, and they're two best friends. They've always gone on vacations over the summer and everything like that. Something happens, you don't know what happens until the freaking end of the book. You don't know what happens, and they stop talking to each other, and they stop going on these vacations. But then one vacation they go together because their friends are getting married, I think. Someone's getting married, I don't know exactly who, but they have one last vacation, like one last hurrah, and it kind of goes through their past and everything like that leading up to what happened to make them stop talking and all that stuff. So still a very good beach read. Book Lovers is probably the least beachy out of any of them. It's giving more cozy vibes. It takes place in a small town. She's from New York. She travels to this small town and she stays in this little cottage with her sister and everything like that. And then you meet, I think her name's Nora, and then you meet Charlie, which I love Charlie. But it's just kind of like a small town, and it's a small town romance. She starts working at a bookshop and all this stuff. I don't know, it's cute, less summery, still recommended 10 out of 10. Next up, we have Happy Place. I need to reread this because whenever I read it, I don't think that I was in the mood to read it. I know that plays such a big part in how you feel about a book. But this takes place in Maine, and we are following Wynn and Harriet, and they met in college. They have a friend group together and everything like that. But every single summer they would go to one of their friends' like family's lake houses, I guess it is, like a lake cottage house place. And they come together during this last summer because their best friends are getting married. But they broke up and haven't told their friends. When they all show up to this lake house, Wynn and Harriet try to keep up the act like they're still together. So you have that going on where they're trying to act like they're still together, but they're not. And none of their best friends know and everything like that. But their relationship is incredible. And there's so many friendship aspects in this, and I don't know. I do love this book. I need to read it again, so I'm like actually in the mood for it. But like when I think about it, I'm like, holy crap, I love this book so much. And summer vibes, lake house. Look at the cover. Hello. Any of Emily Henry books are gonna be a little bit deeper than other like rom-coms, because like I've said, romance is the main element, but it's more of a literary fiction where you're like, there's an aspect of each of the characters that you're following and trying to figure out, you know what I mean? But anyways, Happy Place, definitely recommend this book. I love this book so much. If you have not read Emily Henry, please, for the love of everything, read her. I know people have been telling you to read her, so read her. So this is another book along with Just for the Summer. That was one of my recent 5 stars. I think about these characters on a daily basis. Michigan. Okay, so this one's in Michigan. It's a small town in Michigan, and basically how it starts out is Daphne is engaged. Again, I've talked about this book too, along with Just for the Summer. I've talked about this in a wrap-up, so I'll link it. Gonna talk briefly about it, okay? We have Daphne and Miles. Daphne is engaged, and Miles is dating this one girl, okay? Miles and Daphne's partners are like best friends with each other. Well, they end up cheating on them with each other. So Daphne's fiance sleeps with Miles' girlfriend. This is literally in the synopsis, so I'm not, this happens within the first 20 pages, so I'm not spoiling anything. They get together. So now Miles and Daphne, recently broken up. Daphne, he basically kicks her out of their house. And so Daphne has nowhere to live. She goes to live with Miles because he has a spare bedroom. That's about all I'm gonna say about this book. This book is so adorable. I love it so much. There's like a couple like kayaking scenes, and she works in like a little bookstore. It's a small town. There's like best friend elements and everything like that. So good. Again, I will link the video where I talked in depth about this. But funny story, my favorite book that she has written. So these are all of my summer book recs. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I'm hoping to have some like reading vlogs put up too instead of just recommendation videos. But for now, that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys later. Bye.